We're with Eastern Connecticut senior co-captains Joe Ritrosky and Victoria Pfohl. The Warriors getting ready for their season opener coming up on Saturday. Jill, you guys have been practicing for about a month now, and the season's closing in. How's preseason going?
Preseason's been going really well. I feel like we are very strong in our scoring. We've definitely been able to score more at ease than we have in the past. And we're also working on our defense because we've always been really strong on defense.
Yeah.
So keeping the scoring and the defense up is definitely our focus, and we've shown improvements throughout the scrimmages as well.
Well, Vic, you guys have had 2 scrimmages so far. What have you guys seen as strengths or weaknesses from the scrimmages?
From the scrimmages we've had thus far, we definitely been playing as a team, so I think that our chemistry is really strong. I think it's also shown that we have players that can score. We're not really relying on one person as we had in the past a little bit. And I think that we're sharing the balls, and that will help us down the line in our games and stuff. So I think we just have to continuously just have confidence in ourselves, take the shots that are open, and just continue to play Eastern basketball.
Well, when you guys started preseason officially, Jill, you had the 3 seniors from last year, Taylor, Christina, and Shannon, and that were part of the program for 4 years. When you first started preseason, were you looking around sort of saying like, wow, this is different this year?
Yeah, definitely. Big forces that were gone. But at the same time, the people that were more in the background, because we were so focused on the seniors and they were our leaders, they've really come out. They've shown their leadership qualities because now it's their time to show them. Whereas they feel like everyone feels the gap, so in different ways people are stepping up to fill that void. So as much as there has been a difference, it's also felt good to have different people there stepping up into their roles.
Well, do you guys see a difference in the? I know chemistry was a strong part for you guys last year, especially down the stretch when you got to the Sweet 16. Do you see the makings of a good chemistry, even though the season hasn't started yet?
Absolutely. I mean, this season is definitely going to be different because we lost 3 strong people, but different doesn't mean bad. And we have a lot of upperclassmen who have been playing together for a very long time. I think that our level of play is high right now, and there's no reason that it can't get higher. It will get higher. And between the people that are starting and our bench, when bench people come in, our level of play doesn't decrease at all, and I think that shows that our chemistry is that strong because we're just continuously pushing ahead and just no matter what playing together, because there's no one that comes in or that is in the game that can't contribute to winning the game.
Well, Jill, you've been a captain since your sophomore year, and Vic, you just were named a captain this year. Does that change the way you go about your business as being the official, one of the official, so to speak, captains?
Not really. I think that both of us, I know Jill has been captain for a lot longer than I've been captain, but both of us are leaders, and I'm definitely a vocal person, so if anything, I think it just signifies the experience that we've had in the past, and that this role means that people are going to be looking up to us, and we just have to set that good example that we have been in the past.
Well, Jill, I would have to guess that that maybe in this captaincy, Vic will be more of the vocal person, and I would think over your 3 years as a captain, or your 2 years, that you were more a example for people to follow, more than being the outgoing person. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I'm definitely more of the person that will, say something to you as we're running down the court, like, hey, just look here, or get in front of her, or, things like that, or pull someone aside, or talk in a huddle. Whereas Vic's definitely the loud one, which isn't a bad thing because we need both of those roles. Yeah. But yeah, I definitely think that, especially in the past, that I have been leading by example more than being so vocal.
Well, let's talk about last year. What a great finish last year. You guys won 2 key games at the end of the year to get the #1 seed. You beat Western and you beat Southern Maine. You got the #1 seed. You played that great final against UMass Boston. Vic, talk about the thrill of winning that game, then going to the NCAA and winning 2 games.
I mean, it was a surreal experience, and I think that shows the team that we have left with us. We lost 3 people, that we want to experience that again. When it's happening, you don't really soak it all in until after, but I mean, like, we pushed through at the end like never before, and knowing that we have the ability to do that again, there's no reason and nothing that's going to stop us from achieving that, and if not more.
Well, Jill, after you guys beat Southern Maine and Western and you ended up being the number 1 seed, what was the team thought process going in? Was it complete confidence going into the Little East as the number 1 seed?
Yeah, we were extremely confident in ourselves, but at the same time, every year Coach preaches the same thing, that it's the tournament play. Tournament, everything goes out the window. Yeah. Seeds, records.
How you did earlier,
your schedule, everything's out the window, and it's just playing. So while we were confident in ourselves, that didn't mean that we took it any less seriously, or that we knew for a fact that we were going to win, because it's such a difficult conference, and in tournament play you really just don't know what's going to happen.
Well, you have to love it for last year's 3 seniors to go out on that kind of note, get into the Sweet 16. And when you're not a senior, you always say, well, in the back of your mind, well, if we lose, we got next year, we got next year. Does that, the fact that this is your last year, does that change the way you guys might look at things at the end? Or are you hoping that you get support from the underclassmen?
I mean, absolutely. Drives us a little bit more to achieve as much as possible, because I know both of us have talked about it, and we're definitely leaving everything out on the court. We're lucky to have such a supportive team that wants that for us too, so I think that they're equally driving to achieve as much as possible. But as we said, like last year when we were with Shannon, Christina, and Taylor in the locker room, and they were kind of talking about, you know, guys, like, this can be it for us. Like, this can, our career can end, and I think we know that. We are lucky to be playing at the Division III level and being in such a successful program. We're both not planning to go to the WNBA after this, so it's
although you never know.
I mean, sure, but absolutely have to leave it all on the court, because, you know, this is our last season and we are going to make the most of it, and our team is definitely backing us up for that.
Talk a little, you guys are 2 of the seniors. Can you guys just talk very briefly on who the other seniors are on this team, and maybe briefly what they bring to the team?
Well, I'll go for the other post player, Erin Brooks. She this year is so much more confident in herself than she's ever been, and she brings an element of force and strength down to the post, because she's very consistent, and so far she's been very consistent in scoring and in rebounding. That's defensive and offensive rebounding. So she brings a strong post presence that we definitely need this year, and everyone knows that they can rely on her. So that's very important as well.
It might help you out a little bit down low.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about the other ones, Vic? The other seniors?
Danny and Meg are very, very strong shooters. They both are the first people, when you walk into the gym, they'll be there shooting, practicing their game. They definitely are eager to contribute. Meg, coming off of that injury, has been off the court for a little while. And Danny, just from watching from the guards in the past, we've had very strong guard play. They both are ready and eager to contribute to the team from a scoring standpoint. And I know that we all have confidence in them and don't second guess. As soon as they take a shot and it leaves their hands, we're like, all right, let's get back on defense, because we have that confidence in them, and I know that they're going to contribute and help us a lot this year.
Well, you talk about like Danielle with 3-point shooting and Jordan Nappy. That could be a strength of this team, the ability to shoot from the perimeter and open things up inside.
Absolutely. It will make doubling in the post a lot harder, because our post players, we can pass really well. So if someone doubles us, the guards are really good at relocating where we can see them, and then we can kick it out and give them the shot. So with all of those threats on the outside, it's going to be really challenging for teams to try and defend us.
Well, last question. You guys went into the tip-off tournament last year. You got your season off to the way you wanted to by winning the tournament, winning your first 4 games, including a win over Emmanuel. Talk about the checkpoints over the course of the year as to, in terms of goals. Like, we want to do this, then we want to do this, then we want to do this. What's the progression generally?
I mean, obviously there's a long-term goal at the end, like we don't want to ever lose. We want to win the NCAA tournament, but it's definitely a mindset of like every game, that's the game that you have to win. So right now we're looking at this weekend and we're saying, all right, we have to win the tip-off tournament, and from then on we have to win the next game and the next game. We want to become first in the LECs, then we want to win LECs, then we want to go to NCAAs and advance past each round. But it's definitely a mindset of, this is the game we have next, and we have to focus all of our energy and all of the time on winning that game. So yes, of course, in the back of our heads, there is a long-term goal. Like, we want to be as successful as we were last year and even more than that, but it's definitely game by game winning what is in front of us at that time.
Is that the way you look at it, Jill? Is that the way the team outlook is?
Yeah, every game is the most important game. So really, there's no one game that's less important at all. Each game is our short-term goal. So I mean, we say win the tip-off. What do we have to do to get there? We have to win Saturday. That's what's on our mind. This week we've been focusing on Saturday, and then Sunday morning we'll focus on Sunday because that's the next game, and then Monday we'll focus on the next game. So it's really game by game, and then once we do that, we hit all of those goals because we focus so hard on it that it leads to the long-term goals that we're aiming at.
So hopefully the Warriors get off on a strong foot this weekend. On Saturday at the Eastern Tip-Off Tournament, they'll be hosting Nichols College at 1 o'clock on Saturday. Ladies, thanks for being with me.
Thank you.
Thank you.